Okay, I think we are discussing about the synthesis. I will go to the previous page. I will take a pointer. Okay, previous page. Right. Okay, this is synthesis of beta edesmal. So beta edesmal means the tertiary means isopropyl alcohol group should be towards the observer. If this bulky group is away from the observer, then it's called alpha. We are in, as per the syllabus, we should look into the beta only. So this is the method of synthesis. And here, beta edesmal, it is found in eucalyptus oil. Okay, and synthesis of beta edesmal, it's starting with it's a decalin derivative. Okay, it's a decalin. If the two benzene rings are unsaturated, means saturated, means there is no double bond in this, then it's called decalin. And of course, there is a double bond here, and we can mention that double bond presence. And what is here, it also contain a functional group called ketone. So in the first step, what is happening? It's a protection of ketone. Okay, here the protection of ketone with the help of glycol. Okay, so name of this compound is called glycol. So what will happen in presence of acid source, more particularly a proton source? Okay, so there will be a lone pair or the bond pair attacking this carbonyl group, and this bond pair will attack another carbon, and there will be a removal of water. And the obtained one, this is called ketol. Suppose a aldehyde is protected with alcohol, is called acetal. Since the ketol is protected with alcohol, it's called a ketol. Now the ketone is protected. So why we are protecting? It should not interfere during the course of preparation of certain compounds. So this is protected. And now there is a reaction. How the reaction, in addition to this protection of ketone with the glycol, there will be a movement of this bonded pair is coming over here, and this will picks up a proton, allylic proton. Okay, it's a proton shift 1,3 proton shift. Then okay, so proton shift 1,3 proton shift 1,3 proton shift, and a ketone is protected. So that is what the first step. And here a reaction of borane. Okay, more particularly diborane. So diborane is a liquid at low temperature. So then a reactive species in this is H and BH2. Addition of diborane. How it will add? Hydrogen will add to more substituted one, and BH2 will add to less substituted one. That is the speciality about the diborane addition. So that means borane will add to less substituted carbon atom. Hydrogen will add to more substituted carbon atom. And the borane is replaced with OH when it is oxidized by using oxidizing agent called sodium hydrogen peroxide. So that is how a double bond is converted into OH. Okay, more particularly at the position called this carbon, not the ring junction 1. So that's what you need to remember. So once an alcohol is obtained, more particularly secondary alcohol, and this is oxidized. So oxidized means a secondary alcohol gets converted into ketone. And one more thing you need to remember that, so if it is possible to write the mechanism for all the steps. Okay, so if you are not aware about the mechanism, try to write the mechanism for the each step, so then it will be easy for you to remember the transformations. So from here to here, a ketone is transferred to ketol. From here to here, a double bond is converted into alcohol. So from double bond here, from here to here, it's a oxidation. Okay. So oxidation means secondary alcohol gets converted into ketone. So, and then from here to here, what is happening? You can observe that. So the ring junction, here the ring junction, I think you are aware about the stereochemistry. So here the ring junction stereochemistry is the cis, whereas from here to here, it says trans ring junction. Okay, so you know that the trans ring junction is more stable compared to the cis one. So this is possible just by treating with a acid source called para-toluene sulfonic acid. This is TSOH, means para-toluene sulfonic acid. So that means CH3C6H4SO3H is called para-toluene sulfonic acid. So that is conveniently represented as TSOH. Then what is cis ring junction is converted into trans ring junction. So from here to here, what is the changes? You can observe that a C double bond O is converted into C double bond CH2. So what is the changes from here to here? So from here to here, the changes is CH2, addition of CH2, more particularly methylene group. And the name of this reaction is called Wittig reaction. And here triphenyl phosphine oxide is the living group. Okay, that means Wittig reaction means it's a conversion of ketone to methylene. And then this is triphenyl phosphine methane methylene is the ylide. It's called ylide. So this is again here also reaction mechanism is there. Okay, every step involves a mechanism. The mechanism in maybe in terms of 3, 4, 5 intermediates. Okay, so then just I will mention Wittig reaction. Maybe general Wittig reaction is applicable for the conversion of a ketone to methylene group. So from here to here, what is the changes? Here I mentioned that H3O plus. H3O plus means hydrolysis, more particularly in presence of acid. So what will happen? This ketol group is sensitive to acid. So then there will be a cleavage. Okay, cleavage of ketol group converting back into a ketone. Okay, so now the obtained ketone is treated with LAH. More particularly, if we are treating here sodium bromohydride, that will be the better reagent. That reagent selectively converts a ketone into alcohol. Okay. Okay, maybe if you are able to mention NaBH4, that is better. NaB means sodium borohydride is the selective reagent for the conversion of ketone to alcohol in presence of double bond. Okay, so that means here this also a reduction process. This here also mechanism is involved. And from here alcohol to cyanide. So the conversion of alcohol to cyanide, how it is converted? Initially, you know that alcohol is a poor living group. So a poor living group can be converted into better living group by treating with the tosyl chloride. TS chloride means it's called tosyl chloride. More particularly, it's called para-toluene sulfonyl chloride. So that means CH3C6H4SO2Cl. Okay, para-toluene sulfonyl chloride. Then what will happen? Tosylate O. There will be a new bond formation between the oxygen and sulfur group of tosyl 1, that is called tosylate. Now the tosylate is a better leaving group. So when a better leaving group, SCN minus nucleophile attacks, so then only it's a better group, better leaving group. That is how SCN is obtained at this carbon atom. It's a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, that's what. Then what will happen from here to here? So there will be a involvement of hydrolysis. KOH means base hydrolysis. What will happen? Base hydrolyzed as nitrile compound. So when a nitrile is hydrolyzed by sodium hydroxide, it is possible to get amide. Amide means CONH2. So once the CONH2 is obtained, then what will happen? The obtained CONH2 is treated with the diazomethane. I think you are familiar with the diazomethane reagent. So amide is converted into ketone. Okay, so that means here the first step is hydrolysis. In the first step, CON means nitrile is converted into CONH2. In the next step, it is treated with amide is treated with diazomethane. So this act as a source of methyl group. CH2 minus attack CO of amide and forming a ketone. Okay, so now the ketone obtained. Okay, the ketone obtained is treated with 2 molecule of organometallic reagent. So more particularly lithium, methyl lithium. Okay, so then what will happen? CH3 minus will attack CO. Initially, there will be a forming of alcohol. Alcohol is obtained. Tertiary alcohol is obtained. Ketones on reaction with the Grignard organometallic reagent gives alcohol. So this is towards the observer one is called beta, and this is the beta edesmal. So this is how the beta has edesmal is obtained, starting with decaline derivatives. Okay, so just I will explain once again what and all the reagent and the reactions are involved here. So first step is the production of ketone, and the second step is the reaction of diborane. Okay, diborane selectively gives BH2 to the less substituted carbon atom. Hydrogen will add to this carbon atom. So one more thing you need to remember, BH2 boron, when it is adds to this carbon, that boron when it is treated with oxidizing agent called sodium hydrogen peroxide, so BH2 is replaced with OH. That is how a OH is obtained on this carbon atom. So from here to here, it's an oxidation, or more particularly chromium trioxide oxidation. A secondary alcohol gives ketone. From here to here, it's a ring junction changes. This cis ring junction is converted into trans ring junction. From here to here, it's a Wettig reaction. A ketone is converted into methylene group. From here to here, it's hydrolysis. A ketol is converted into ketone. So from here to here, selective reduction of carbonyl oxygen means carbonyl carbon in presence of double bond. It is more feasible with the sodium borohydride. So you can mention here sodium borohydride and you can write the OH. So with LaOH also is possible, but what is happening with LaOH is a strong oxidizing agent. It is possible to reduce the double bond also. Then from here to here, it is a conversion of hydroxy group to the replacement of hydroxy group with cyanide. It is possible in 2 steps. In the first step, it is hydroxy group is converted into tosylate. Tosylate is a better leaving group compared to the hydroxy. Then a nucleophile attacks, CN minus is attacks and forming a nitrile group. Then what will happen? This nitrile is hydrolyzed. Okay, this nitrile is hydrolyzed with OH, That means CN is converted into CONH2 amide. That amide is treated with diazomethane to form a ketone. Ketone on reaction with methyl lithium gives beta edesmal. This is about the synthesis of beta edesmal. So with this, I will go to the next slide. Okay, next slide. Next, I'm taking abiotic acid. So abiotic acid means that this is a terpenoid, and it is isolated from resin. Okay, and 1 minute, I will note down. And then it is also obtained from terebinth. Okay, it's one plant. Then abiotic acid can be synthesized starting with a compound called tetralone. Okay, so there should be, if there is a complete saturated, both the rings are saturated, it's called decalin. If one ring is saturated, means it's called tetralin. Okay, and since there is a ketone, it's called tetralone. And we have to mention what is the position. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tetralone, and 2 isopropyl 6 tetralone. It is treated with methyl iodide. So you know that methyl iodide is a electrophile and pyridine is a base. And you know that a ketone we usually will be in the enolic form. That means the proton present here is acidic one that can be captured by pyridine. And what will happen? The anion come over here, and this can picks up proton. And similarly, when it is going back to the position, so that time this bond pair will attack a electrophile called methyl group. So that is how a methyl carbon-carbon new bond formation between this carbon and this methyl group. That is how a product is obtained. So, and the difference, this group is methylene group, and this proton is called methine proton, METHYNE. Okay, this methine proton is more acidic compared to the methylene proton. So again, this proton in presence of pyrrolidine. Pyrrolidine is an organic base. Of course, this is also a organic base. So what will happen in presence of pyrrolidine base? There will be anion formation here. This anion attacks the alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. This one is alpha beta, means there is a double bond here, and this is a ketone. Alpha is this position, beta is this position. Alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Then here, what is that? This is also a alpha position. So these protons also acidic. So these two protons and this OH will go out. So what I am talking? I am talking about the Robinson annulation. So when a compound, more particularly compound is having alpha beta, means what is called ketone, more particularly alpha hydrogen containing ketone, when it is treated with alpha beta unsaturated ketone, more particularly having alpha protons. Okay, in presence of organic base, a cyclization takes place, forming a annulated product. And this reaction is called Robinson annulation reaction. This also involves mechanism. You can write the mechanism for the conversion of this to this. So in simple way, I can say that there will be a new bond formation between this carbon and this carbon, and this bond pair picks up a proton. The proton may be this. In other way, these two protons and O will go out as a water, and there will be a double bond formation. So like this, that's what I have written here. So from here to here, you know that this proton is acidic in nature because this is near to this double bond, and this proton is called allylic proton. And this bond pair can come over here, and this bond pair react with this carbon. Why it is reacting with this carbon? Because bromide is the leaving group. So this is possible in presence of a base called pyrrolidine. This is also an organic base. So what it means? It means that there will be a new bond formation between this carbon and this CH2. That is how a compound is obtained. So at this stage, it's a protection of a ketone. So protection of ketone with the thioglycol. This is called thioglycol. And the obtained one is thioketol. Okay. So that means CO is protected here. Then what will happen? So this one, when it is treated with ranitidine, okay. So you know that ranitidine means it's a, I think you are aware about the applications of ranitidine. So what will happen? Here you can observe that there is a isolated double bond. This double bond gets converted into saturated one. That is one thing is possible. At the same time, one more thing, desulfurization. Desulfurization means a ketol gets converted into hydrocarbon. So that is also possible with the ranitidine. So this will be a continuous process. So here a catalyst means it should be a ranitidine one. Of course, it is also possible with other catalyst. Then desulfurization occurs in this one. And from here, so here to here, what you can observe that the changes between this and this, you can observe that here one carbon atom less. Okay, here an ester is there. More particularly, this is one carbon, this is another carbon. Means for a time being, what you can say that methyl acetate group. So methyl acetate group is converted into carboxylic acid. So this name reaction is called Barbier-Wieland degradation. So that means one carbon is degraded. That means one carbon less product is obtained when the molecule is subjected to Barbier-Wieland degradation. So I will explain what is Barbier-Wieland degradation now. So I will go to the next slide. Okay, now it will come. So this is the Barbier-Wieland degradation. So what is the process? A carboxylic acid, more particularly methyl containing carboxylic acid, undergoes esterification. So this is a esterification. So ester is obtained. Obtained ester is treated with phenyl magnesium bromide. So you know that phenyl magnesium bromide means phenyl minus, means phenyl will be available as a anion. So that will attack here, forming initially ketone is obtained. If one more molecule, two molecule of phenyl magnesium used, then alcohol is obtained like this. So this alcohol I'm treating with the H plus. Okay, that means just by heating. So you know that phenyl magnesium bromide. Afterwards, you need to add a proton source. So proton to cleave that magnesium group. So to that proton source, just by on heating, what will happen? So one proton from here, you know that this proton removed proton and OH will go out as a water, and there will be a formation of a double bond. So obtained double bond is subjected to oxidation, more particularly chromium trioxide oxidation. I think you are familiar with the chromium trioxide oxidation because it cleaves, okay, a double bond, okay, and forming a two products. So for these two, you will converted as a ketone, and this carbon is converted as a carboxylic acid. So this reaction follows a oxidation mechanism with chromium trioxide. So what it means? It means that Barbier-Wieland degradation involves the conversion of alpha carbon containing carboxylic acid into ester. The obtained ester, when it is treated with organometallic reagent, gives an alcohol. Alcohol dehydration gives alkene. The obtained alkene, when it is treated with chromium trioxide, gives one carbon less carboxylic acid. So you can observe these two compounds. Here two carbon atoms are there. Here only one carboxylic acid is there. So what it means? It means that this carbon gets converted into carboxylic acid and this will go out. Okay, that's what you need to take it from here. So this is about the Barbier-Wieland degradation. Maybe in this semester, you will also discuss more about Barbier-Wieland degradation when we are talking about steroids. Okay, steroids is the another chapter which is present in 404. Okay, so now you know that what is Barbier-Wieland degradation. So that means it is possible to get a one carbon atom less carboxylic acid when a methyl means methyl acetate is subjected to Barbier-Wieland degradation. So that is how a compound is obtained like this. So then obtained one is subjected to Birch reduction. I think you know that what is Birch reduction. So Birch reduction means it's nothing but a treatment of a benzene with sodium in ethanol. Okay, sodium in ethanol. Then what will happen? This gives an electron. So where it will gives okay, so this can give electron to this carbon and this bonded pair goes over here and this bond pair picks up a proton. So then sodium, again, it will give one more electron. So that is how this carbon is saturated. Similarly, this carbon is saturated, forming a double bond here, double bond here. That's called dihydro. 1, dihydro derivative is obtained. So once a 1, 4 dihydro derivative is obtained, so then there will be a shift of 1,3 shift, 1,3 proton shift. That means this bond pair is coming over here and this will picks up a proton. Okay. Similarly, this bond pair will come over here and this will picks up a proton. So what will happen now? So there will be a new double bond formation like this. So this is only abiotic acid. So this is how abiotic acid is obtained. So what and all we discussed up to this? We discussed about the synthesis of linalool, synthesis of alpha terphenol, synthesis of phenone, synthesis of beta adesmol, and synthesis of abiotic acid. So there are 5 syntheses, no? So this is about the synthesis of monoterpenoids. So from this synthesis, you will get in your main examination, maybe any 1 or 2 or 3, sometimes 2 or 3 also, you will get a synthesis product. Okay, these are one more synthesis is there. It's called commercial method of synthesis of camphor. So that I will discuss in the next slide. So before that, just I will explain what and all is involved in the conversion of tetralone to abiotic acid. So this is a methylation. So more particularly C methylation. And this one is a Robinson annulation reaction. And from here to here, it's a nucleophilic substitution reaction. From here to here, it's a ketone protection. From here to here, it's a conversion reduction process. More particularly, isolated double bond is reduced, and then a raninical desulfuration. Okay, a hydrocarbon is how obtained. Then from here to here is a Barbier-Wieland degradation. That means one carbon less carboxylic acid is obtained. So from here to here, a Birch reduction. After the Birch reduction, 1,4-dihydrobenzene derivative is obtained. So this on migration, 1,3-hydrogen shift, so forming abiotic acid. So this is about the what is called synthesis of abiotic acid. So with this, I will go to this I have discussed. I will go to the method of synthesis of a camphor. I think this camphor is obtained from camphor tree, and more particularly, first time it is isolated from Formosa. Formosa is an island present in Japan. Okay, and this method of synthesis is called commercial method. So commercial method means it should be a economically viable one. And name of this compound is called alpha phenine. Okay, alpha phenine. And you know that alpha phenine is obtained from the pinene tree. So what will happen here? It's a simple reaction, but it involves a rearrangement. Okay, every step. Okay, whatever I have given here, 5 steps I have given. So 5 steps itself involves a many intermediates. Okay, so maybe I will discuss the mechanism part after this slide, but now you just look into the changes. So what is happening here? So addition of HCl, it's an addition reaction. Of course, it's an addition reaction. A proton will add to more substituted carbon atom. And what is this? This bonded pair picks up this bond pair picks up proton, and Cl minus will add to this carbon atom. So that's what you can observe in the product, but actually it involves a intermediate called camphene. So that I will tell later. So at this moment, you just observe that it's a addition reaction. So proton will add here, and this bond pair will and Cl minus will add to this carbon. At this moment, you just take this, and later stage, this when it is treated with sodium methoxide. Okay, so what will happen? Cl will go out. There will be a formation of positive charge, and the obtained positive charge, so secondary carbocation, that will be converted into tertiary carbocation because it involves a Wagner-Merwin rearrangement. So Wagner-Merwin rearrangement is involved here. So that is how a camphene is obtained. Okay, it's an intermediate. This camphene, when it is treated with acetic acid, okay, so it will form a acetate at this position. So this is an intermediate. Anyway, I will explain how this intermediate is obtained, starting with the chloro in the next slide, not now. So now from camphene to acetoxy group, this is acetoxy group. So from here to here, it's a hydrolysis. Okay, acetoxy is converted into alcohol. From here to here, you know that this is a isoborneol. Okay, and what is here? This is a when this is oxidized. Here, the oxidizing agent is nitrobenzene. Okay, this is a special about that. I think I will explain how the nitrobenzene will act as a oxidizing agent in the conversion of a secondary alcohol to ketone. Okay, so these are the steps are involved in the conversion of alpha pinene to camphor, and it is a commercial method. So in the first step, it's a addition reaction. In the second step, Wagner-Merwin rearrangement. In the third step, it's an involvement of acetic acid. You know that acetic acid is a solvent that itself is involved in the reaction. and obtained one is called acetoxy derivative, and this acetoxy derivative undergoes hydrolysis, giving rise to isoborneol. This isoborneol on oxidation with the oxidizing agent called nitrobenzene, it gives camphor. So this is the commercial method of synthesis of camphor. Sometimes there will be a question on this. Give the commercial method of synthesis of camphor. Then you can write 5-step synthesis. Okay. So with this, I will maybe in the next slide, I will explain each mechanism, stepwise mechanism I will explain. So I will go to the next slide. So this is a step 1 mechanism. So what is happening here? This bonded pair picks up this proton. So then there will be a positive charge is formed on this carbon atom. Okay, it's a tertiary carbon atom. And you know that this is a 4-membered ring. So since there is a strain in the 4-membered ring, this bonded pair is moved from this carbon to this carbon. That means converting a 4-membered ring into a 5-membered ring. That is how a compound is obtained, and there is a formation of carbocation. And here one thing you need to remember that. So the formation of a tertiary carbocation is a thermodynamically favored one, and this one is kinetically favored one. Okay, that means here there will be an involvement of the thermodynamically favored carbocation and the kinetically favored carbocation, and the nucleophile attack a carbocation, more particularly secondary carbocation and kinetically favored carbocation, and forming a product. So this is how